Our Hotspots magazine is celebrating 38 years. It has been documenting the LGBTQ plus lifestyle and is the spirit of our Hotspots Queer Entertainment this week, sponsored by the Broward Center for Performing Arts. In the LGBTQ plus community, we always make jokes about size matters. And when it comes to Broward Center, size does matter. The Broward Center for the Performing Arts is the destination of choice for LGBTQ plus South Florida for spectacular entertainment in a large variety of performance venues. Broward Center ranks among the top 10 most visited theaters in the world, presenting more than 700 performances a year to more than 700,000 patrons. Broward Center is the home of LGBTQ plus entertainers, shows, Broadway, national drag performance, LGBTQ plus choral events, and so much more. And Broward Center supports one of the world's largest gay communities, Fort Lauderdale, Broward County, and really all of South Florida. They support that LGBTQ plus community and our nonprofits unlike any theater in South Florida. We are excited to tell you about the 2023 season that Broward Center for Performing Arts will bring to our LGBTQ plus community. Did you know that surveys show that the LGBTQ plus community participates in live theater performances 2.5 times more often than our straight counterparts? Well, that's why they are the sponsor of Hotspot's Queer Entertainment this week. Several of this year's top Academy Award nominated films have queer themes, and even more of them are queer adjacent. There are even a few actual queer actors, writers, and musicians who are nominated. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once won 10 Oscars this year. Jamie Lee Curtis and Michelle Yeoh's characters in the movie are queer in some multiverses, and Stephanie Sue, who is queer in real life, is the first actor nominated for an Oscar for playing a queer role since Angelina Jolie for Girl Interrupted. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once is banned in the Middle East and China due to its queer representation. Another movie collecting praise from across the world is The Whale. Brendan Fraser won the Best Actor for this film, in which he is playing a gay character. And by the way, this movie has made Brendan Fraser the 6th straight man to play a gay character and win the Oscar. Another winning moment for the LGBTQ plus community was when David Kwan and Daniel Scheinert won the Best Directing Award, and in the acceptance speech, Scheinert said, quote, this one is dedicated to the mommies of the world, to our moms, specifically my mom and dad. Thank you for not squashing my creativity when I was dressing in drag as a kid, which is a threat to no one.
Thank you, sir. Our fellow nominees, you guys are our heroes. This is weird. We want to dedicate this to the mommies, all the mommies of the world, to our moms. Specifically, my mom and dad, Ken and Becky, thank you for not squashing my creativity when I was making really disturbing horror films or really perverted comedy films or dressing in drag as a kid, which is a threat to nobody. Yeah, thank you to everybody who worked on our movie.
Our Hotspots Queer Entertainment headline of the week: the Queer Oscars hit drag queens, a whale, and a whole lot more. What did we think, the Oscars?
Oh my God, I had so many favorite parts. First of all, I love Pedro Pascal. I just love him for, The Last of Us. And when he went up there and he had to say, my urine dicks, he was like, my urine, they'll say it for me, right? And I thought that was an awesome part. When Lady Gaga performed, I was like, who is that ugly girl with no makeup? Wow, she can sing. And all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, Lady Gaga, she's beautiful, right? Like all of a sudden it was like, oh, there was just a lot of queer moments. But honestly, everything, what is it? Everything, Anywhere, All at Once.
Everything.
I mean, I should know the name of the movie because it won freaking everything. It was literally the Oscars that belonged to them, and they so deserved it. Mm-hmm. What else? The Memoriam. I was upset about the Memoriam. No Leslie Jordan. No Anne Heche.
Yep.
So they missed out on the queer representation there.
Did you like the show?
It was freaking long. Al, like, why do they make these things so damn long? It was 3.5 hours. They changed the carpet. Every news story was talking about the champagne carpet. The carpet did nothing. It looked awful, okay? It didn't help at all. Bring back the red carpet.
Yeah. And you know, it's interesting. They have a red carpet. It's that color for a reason, because it looks so good in camera shot. And then they ruined it. Other thoughts?
I mean, so I watched clips. You know, I targeted what I liked and who I liked. I did not sit through all 4 hours. It was me.
who did
You're busy having sex.
Who did you like in the clips that you reviewed?
So I did watch the Everything All at Once. A was part of our show.
Which one? There were 10 of those.
Right, with the 2 directors. The
director.
10th time they went up there.
10th time.
It was like, oh,
and then
let's talk about
the little guy from Goonies. I mean, I can't, you know, that part. And so even Brendan, like all of their authentic self, like to me, I get so emotional watching folks being their true authentic self and allowing their emotions to come out, because that way they show that they're only, it's not for play, it's like authenticity. You truly accept them. And what I liked most about all the clips that I saw was understanding that it was artists supporting other artists. And they recognizing their gifts, whether we agree with who won or who didn't win. The fact that artists are recognizing the gifts of artists.
Let me ask all of you, did you miss the slap? Did you miss a moment like that?
No.
I think we all were waiting for something like that to happen.
Yeah. I think Jamie Lee Curtis was trying to give you that with her weird reaction to her win, and I felt like it was fraudulent a little bit. I feel like she was being
Not
extra.
authentic.
We won this. We won this.
It was so weird. Her reaction was very, very weird for me, and it's fine. But I feel like that was the takeaway for me. It was like, okay, that was awkward and extra. But I think the real takeaway is Brendan Fraser and his win. Because it is a gay character, but it's not only just a gay character, it was what it meant to the gay community and the acceptance, what he went to get away from his daughter, because he was, and then he hurt himself because what essentially he gained all this weight because he just hated himself and he had to remove himself from his daughter's life because he was gay. And at the end, he got the acceptance he needed where he died.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
And I think it was
You just ruined the movie. Thanks.
I know.
Wow, I didn't read it yet.
Well, go watch it, Mama.
And do you know Brendan Fraser's like backstory? Like, you know, he's nominated for this for the Golden Globes and he didn't go, and he wasn't planning on going to any awards show because he had accused the president of the foreign press of touching him inappropriately and sexual assault.
Oh, I didn't know that.
2003.
Yes.
So this was huge for him to be there and to be like, okay, you know.
And like emotionally,
That's
and
drama.
have his emotion, like to live through that moment and understanding, like you said, all of that, and then to go through that on camera. Like this will be in history books. Him being that guy from the Mummy to this guy, and evolving.
Encino Man.
And all of that. Yes,
and I want
all
to tell
of
that story. To me, that was really the moment for both the best actor and the best supporting actor.
Indiana Jones,
because
right?
yes, the Korean kid that was the kid.
He's like 45.
Yes,
So
I
he's not a
know.
kid anymore.
Right,
I
but
know.
when he was
Him he
in
is.
Indiana Jones,
Yes, we
and
know.
To all of us.
when
all
he
of
was-
us,
Did
yeah.
y'all
when
just
we
see
were
this
getting ready to
aggression?
just do the slap. Take that out of your mouth, right? When he did Goonies and Indiana Jones,
But I
he was
punch
a
back.
kid, right? And what was interesting is Jimmy Kimmel makes a joke that's funny but totally inappropriate. He makes the joke of, isn't it interesting that 2 actors that are in Encino Man, and he's implying how terrible the movie is. And he's saying in front of the entire world, wait, these people were in this terrible, terrible movie, and now they've gone on to be nominated for Best Actor and Best Supporting Actor. It was a terribly inappropriate.
That's not actually what he said. So let me say exactly what he did say, right? So what he said was basically saying these 2 folks came from Encino Man and now they've won Oscars. Poor Pauly Shore. He's the only one sad about these 2 winning.
Yes.
Poor Pauly Shore.
But what he was trying to say was what a time, like the time frame, the coincidence of them being in this shitty movie, getting awards for 2 different movies on the same year at the same time.
Yeah.
And Pauly Shore is nowhere to be found. These people were also nowhere to be found.
That's a good
Brendan
joke,
Fraser
Al.
was nowhere to be found. Was
But
lost.
it's inappropriate.
And that
How
guy-
is it inappropriate?
Why is it inappropriate?
And that guy left acting because he felt like
was
there
bad.
was he felt like the guy from the young
It was
person
the end for him.
from Goonies.
Oh,
he
yes.
realized that there was no parts for him, so he left. He became a stunt guy, and that only way he could still be inside the mainstream of movie making,
right. That's
but could not get in the background, but still be a part of it.
You know what-
until his role came around,
Another-
and then he was able.
Oh, we're gonna put a red. Just
Clearly, because he wants to talk.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's celebrate that he never left his craft, and now he's being rewarded for what he did.
Amen.
You know, another big moment I thought was Brendan Fraser, because I don't know if you caught it, and there's been a lot written since the broadcast. He turned to the person next to him and said, "Did they say my name?" That was the first words out of his mouth. He did not believe he was going to win, and no one in that room believed he was going to win. the actor that played Elvis, it was a lock. He has won every award there is.
They won nothing.
Screen actor,
Isn't that weird?
and Golden Globes. He won every single award. He was the lock favorite to win that award.
He didn't win this.
And
Well,
didn't
you can
win.
campaign. There's a campaign involved.
And when they called Brendan Fraser, he didn't believe it, and that's why he turned. And the first he mouthed, "Did they call my name? Did they say my name?"
Who gave him his award? Because that would have been Will Smith if he wouldn't have been
would have been.
exiled for
It
10
was
years.
2 women. I forgot the 2
Oh, okay.
women. And it was unusual because it wasn't the previous. And when a moving moment for me, I'm not a big Brendan Fraser fan, and I wasn't a fan of The Whale, but in a moment that I will never forget of Brendan Fraser, as he's walking on the stage, he is so stunned that he is walking on the stage of his entire life of George in the Jungle and Encino
Absolutely.
Man and Mummy and Journey to the Center of the Earth and, popcorn to bad films.
Yeah.
And now he's walking on the stage for the Oscar. You watched him in his eyes thinking about all
Absolutely.
of
You
that
saw it. You saw that
simultaneously.
on his face.
And as she reaches the Oscar out to him, he looks at the statue in shock that he's getting ready to touch this statue. You go back and watch it. It's probably the highlight of the entire show.
Well, if I could put a pin on this segment, I don't want to go without mentioning Michelle Yeoh for her performance because Trinidadi is the biggest supporter of women. I was just joking about the sandwich, but
You said F Women's History Month, and you told me to make you a sandwich. Explain
that's-
to me how you are on the side of women, because I'm lost for sure.
because you're more like a gay man.
Put the pin in
That's
it,
why.
and let's move on.
But the thing is that she gets a
still
lot of
talking.
credit, and I think that like older women to me has been box office gold for a long time that has been unrecognized. The Golden Girls, we all know it has been the most
But it's really
successful,
interesting. You
and
know
it
why
should
it
be.
isn't?
And
It is
none of the great
because
writers
of
are.
cis white men that are running Hollywood
That's
that go,
right. You're right.
wait, you're not important enough because you're
right.
too old.
You're right.
Exactly. The best
why.
writers
Right.
need to be
Okay.
there, and it'd be gold.
LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Lara are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ plus community.